You are not only just a superb senior director of urban business initiatives at ICIC, but you are one heck of a live host. If you're ever looking for a new career, I know where you belong because nobody does it better than you. I'm Steve Grossman. For those whom I haven't met during this 3-day conference, I'm the CEO of ICIC, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to one of the highlights of our national conference, the release of our Inner City 100 list. As many of you know, but perhaps not all, the Inner City 100 recognizes the fastest growing inner city companies in America and is published annually in Fortune. This year's remarkable Inner City 100 list represents 25 different industries, 56 different cities, 29 states, and I'm so proud to let you know that 51% of the Inner City 100 winners this year are BIPOC owned. For those who aren't familiar with the acronym, that's Black, Indigenous, and People of Color owned. That's 51%. The first time we've ever been above 50% in the 23-year history of the Inner City 100. And 42% of the winners are woman-led. The increases have been dramatic. BIPOC-owned businesses, 51% this year. It was 40% in 2015. It was 44% in 2019. So we've seen it steadily increase, and we're thrilled to be able to announce that. Same thing's true of woman-owned businesses. 42% this year, as I just said. It was only 34% in 2019, and only 25% in 2015. So we're making great progress all the time. The winners this year averaged 310% in revenue growth from 2015 to 2019. The winners averaged $8.9 million, almost $9 million in annual revenue. The members of the Inner City 100 list this year employ, in the aggregate, 7,240 people, that's as of 2019, and collectively created more than 3,200 jobs, 3,230 jobs to be specific, during that period of time, 2015 to 2019. And the average salary, and this is really one of our proudest statistics, the average salary for employees of the Inner City 100 companies, and this does not include senior management or the owners, of the 2020 Inner City 100 winners is $60,663. If there was ever a proof of concept of Michael Porter's thesis that you could create sustainable small business ecosystems in our most under-resourced communities, often called inner cities, the Inner City 100 is proof positive. Over 1,000 companies recognized during this 23-year period. And there's more good news. This year, we have 71 first-time winners, the highest proportion of new winners we've ever seen. And that's an increase from 39 first-time winners just last year. Think of that. 39 last year, 72 first-time winners. We are thrilled to be able to announce all of this. As we all know, job growth, even during difficult economic times such as we're traveling through right now, job growth is the engine of a healthy, inclusive economy. So this year, for the first time, the Inner City 100 winners were chosen not only based on growth in revenue, but based on the creation of jobs during the period 2015 to 2019. So without any further delay, since I know you're all anxious to see the list, we're going to count down the 100 winners. And on this year's list, we're also going to recognize 15 Hall of Fame winners. Hall of Famers are those who have been on the list 5 or more times during the history of the award. And we believe Hall of Fame winners are the true engines of sustained growth in their communities. So let's take a look at the first slide, companies 100 to 91. And you'll see as you look at the slide, one member of the Hall of Fame. That's number 96, Oaklandish, from Oakland, California. And I'm going to recognize each of the Hall of Fame winners as we go down the list. So take a look at companies from 100 to 91, all winners in our book. And now let's look at the next slide. The next slide are companies 90 to 81. And you'll see on that slide, company number 83, winner number 83, Info People Corporation of New York, a Hall of Famer, joining the other Hall of Famers to be recognized 5 or more times. For you first-time winners, think about it. Get on that list next year, the year after, the year after, and the year after that. We look forward to welcoming you to the Hall of Fame 4 years from now. So we'll just take a couple of minutes to take a look at that slide, companies 90 to 81 on the Intercity 100 list. And moving right along, let's take a look at slide representing winners from 80 down to 71. And you'll see 2 Hall of Famers on that list. TCG Inc. of Washington, D.C., and Giroux Glass of Los Angeles. And I want to thank publicly Natalie Lomedico for her wonderful keynote address earlier in the conference. She has built an extraordinary business, an employee-owned business in Los Angeles, and you'll see Giroux Glass back here again next year, I am sure. So let's just take a couple of minutes to take a look at winners 80 to 71. So we have a special award that we'd like to highlight today. This award is named after ICIC's first president and CEO. Her name was Dorothy Terrell, and she served in that position as CEO from 2005 to 2008. Under Dorothy's leadership, ICIC significantly expanded its reach and impact. So this award carries on her unwavering commitment to impact and will be presented by Chevron, one of our longest standing partners for the Intercity 100 and for our national conference. Chevron champions local job creation, workforce development, economic opportunity in markets where it operates, making them a fantastic partner on the Intercity 100 initiative. I'm pleased to introduce Stephanie Beveridge, Chevron's General Manager for Category Management and Projects, who will present the Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here with you virtually to present this year's Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award on behalf of Chevron. For more than 15 years, Chevron and ICIC have partnered around our shared commitment to advance inclusive economic growth and to recognize small businesses that have outsized impact on their communities. In this most unique and challenging year, we couldn't be prouder to join ICIC in showcasing businesses that are driving economic prosperity and wealth creation for residents within our country's under-resourced communities. At Chevron, we have learned through decades of experience that our business success in providing affordable, reliable, and ever-cleaner energy is directly tied to the progress and prosperity of the communities we serve. We partner with community leaders, governments, and organizations like ICIC to understand their needs and priorities, build lasting relationships, and help drive meaningful economic growth. ICIC's mission mirrors our commitment to building the capacity of diverse small businesses and opening pathways for qualified firms to become our suppliers. We believe strongly that this type of investment is not only good for business, but more importantly, strengthens local economies and the vitality of communities in which we operate. The Community Impact Award, named in honor of ICIC's first president and CEO, Dorothy Terrell, is particularly important to Chevron because it quantifies tangible ways that thriving inner-city businesses enhance their communities. To measure this impact, we evaluate all Intercity 100 winners along the award's key metrics, which include job creation, local hiring, quality and breadth of employee benefit programs, the amount of goods and services the company sources locally, and community engagement initiatives. I'm delighted to be presenting the 2020 Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award to a company from Florida that provides cubicle curtain repair and alteration services to healthcare facilities. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, this company has increased its production of disposable cubicle curtains, as well as launched a new disposable bedding product designed to protect patients and staff from potential risk of exposure via laundry. This innovative company we are honoring today was founded in 1999 and is committed to supporting the local community. It partners with a halfway house to provide jobs to prison inmates awaiting release, providing them on-the-job training and support. This company also employs single mothers, providing them a safe area on site to bring their children until they're old enough to attend pre-K. This company authentically and clearly demonstrates the values on which this award is based, and we are thrilled to be able to honor them with it. This year's recipient of the Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award is Cube Care from Miami, Florida, and its founder and CEO, Susana Robledo. Congratulations.
My name is Susana Robledo, and I am the CEO and founder of Cube Care Company, and we specialize in niche and privacy products for the healthcare industry. I am a minority and I am also an immigrant, and being able to have this corporation and being able to provide jobs to over 70 people and close in the wealth gaps, it is important to me as a person that I am giving my best back, because I wouldn't have been able to have been in this position if it wasn't because of other people within the community that actually helped me through.
When I think about how Cube Care has impacted the local community the most, I think of us giving opportunities to those from the halfway home. People who are trying to insert themselves back into the community.
Miss Susana Robledo gave me a chance. I took it and ran with it. It was not easy at first. Boy, like a knucklehead, boy, I ran into walls left and right here. But she kept the doors open, never shut them on me.
This is my community. This is where I was born and raised here. So where I'm at, I'm blessed. I'm happy. I have a purpose, and I feel like I'm giving back. I grab guys that I know that need work, and I get them and I use them and I help them, people from my community. I've never felt love like this. This is like, I'm about to cry. This is a family right here, for real.
Integrity is what builds trust and builds long-lasting relationships, and it creates a culture within the company that everybody has to do the right thing.
People here from graduates from Georgia Tech, from white, black, Hispanic, you can name them all.
We don't treat anybody differently, and we carry that amongst our local community, including with our customers. We've been able to work with community hospitals, clinics, commercial businesses that are able to see our story and are able to relate to what Cube Care could bring to them and what we could bring to the whole society and our local community as a whole.
I noticed that great leaders are always focused on people. You can't be a great company if you don't have the right people. And how do you foster those right people? They have to really truly believe in the essence of what is true to the company. And they have to be able to act out the values of the company when no one is watching. I am not in a race to be successful by ourselves. We're in a race to make our community successful.
I want to share with you guys what it is to be with an entrepreneur that has faced difficult challenges, from losing her father at a very young age, to traveling to a country not knowing the language, to building the empire that I consider Cube Care is at this time. I am beyond proud, grateful, and humbled to be a part of this organization.
What a moving story. We're so honored to have Cube Care part of the ICIC family. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you to Chevron. And congratulations and our thanks to Cube Care for being such important leaders in your community. And now back to the list and the countdown. So we'll now take a look at a slide that represents companies from 70 down to 61. And we're privileged to have 3 Hall of Fame winners in this group. CWE of Fullerton, California, Urban Tech Consulting Engineering PC of New York, and UYL Color of Houston, Texas. Congratulations once again to all of our Hall of Fame winners and to all of our Intercity 100 winners. This is a year like none other, and anybody who's on the list this year will remember this year as long as they live. And we're so proud of every one of you. So now let's continue on to the slide representing winners from 60 to 51. And on this slide as well, we've got 3 Hall of Fame winners. Number 58, LaSalle Staffing, Inc. of Chicago. Number 56, PTI QCS of Detroit. And number 54, On Demand Group of Minneapolis. Congratulations to this group of 10, to our Hall of Fame winners, and to all of you for being part of this illustrious group. This list, as I said earlier, is published as of today in Fortune online, and we're thrilled to work with every one of you to make sure you get the maximum benefit out of that publication in Fortune. So let's move on now to the next slide, which will show winners from 50 down to 41. And in this group, I'll note 1 Hall of Famer, number 46, Sabre 88 LLC of Newark, New Jersey. Congratulations to all of you for being part of the Intercity 100 this year, for being rapidly growing companies and job creators, and representing the best of the American entrepreneurial spirit. So now let's just take a brief break and present another award. This is the Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award, presented by FedEx. And I'll note, by the way, that FedEx, whose hometown is Memphis, Tennessee, that there are 5 Intercity 100 winners from Memphis. Clearly, FedEx and the Memphis community, the mayor, and the leadership there is doing something very right in Memphis to have 5 of the Intercity 100s coming from that city. The Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award, presented by FedEx, highlights ICIC's and FedEx's shared commitment to diversity, global trade, empowering entrepreneurs, and creating employment opportunities in cities around the world. Please join me in welcoming a dear friend, FedEx's Vice President of Sourcing and Procurement, Sue Spence.
Good evening. I'm thrilled to be with you virtually to present the 4th Annual Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award on behalf of FedEx. In this most unprecedented year, the role that small businesses play as engines of their local economies, employing about half of all America's workforce, is more critical than ever. We share and reaffirm ICIC's passion for providing minority and women entrepreneurs with the tools they need to succeed, such as training, networking, access to capital, and mentoring, and for celebrating the strength and resilience of small business owners like you. Our support of ICIC and the Intercity 100 is one of the many ways we at FedEx deliver on our commitment to providing entrepreneurs everywhere with the resources necessary to stay in business, create new jobs, support families, and contribute to thriving communities. In 2017, we created the FedEx Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award with ICIC, which recognizes an Intercity 100 winner for its embodiment of these values, as well as our commitments to diversity, global trade, empowering entrepreneurs, and creating employment opportunities. FedEx was founded by Fred Smith, who first thought up the business concept as part of a college term paper, earning him the skepticism of an economics professor who said his idea wasn't feasible. Maybe that's why our company believes in the people who are willing to dream big, take risks, persevere, and change the world for the better. The 2020 Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award winner curates a collection of goods and music from hundreds of independent makers. Its customers and community are people who want to support their creative community, surround themselves with beauty, and live wholehearted. Operating 5 stores in the Portland, Oregon area, as well as a record label, its mission is to empower, enrich, and enlighten artists, employees, and patrons. This company is deeply enmeshed in the local creative economy and has worked with more than 1,000 artists to date, paying millions directly to other small businesses. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, this company was initially forced to close all 5 of its stores, 4 of which have since reopened. It pivoted to exclusively online sales and has significantly strengthened its e-commerce presence, helping sustain the business through these uncertain times. Recently, this company launched a gift box stocked with food and housewares made by local Black, Indigenous, and people of color artists, with 100% of proceeds donated to the NAACP. On behalf of FedEx, I am so proud to announce the 2020 Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award winner is Tender Loving Empire, led by Brianne and Jared Mees.
Hi, I'm Jared Mees.
And I'm Brianne Mees.
And we run Tender Loving Empire here in Portland, Oregon. Tender Loving Empire was founded in 2007. We had a lot of really talented friends making music, making jewelry, ceramics, just a really vibrant art scene. And we realized there wasn't really an outlet for these artists to actually reach the public. So we ended up starting a store, a small store, about 700 square feet. There's now 5 Tender Loving Empire stores, and our record label has released about 85 records so far.
I have been a record store manager for many, many years, and one of the reasons Tender Loving Empire caught my eye was truly because it's a record label, but also just because of the statement behind the entire company, which is, supporting local communities of artists. When you're buying from us, you're not just really supporting a local business. What you're doing is you're supporting a local business that in turn supports 700, 800 different vendors that are small businesses and part of our community.
It's a really fun culture at Tender Loving Empire, and I think everyone here cares so much about what we're doing and being those representatives for the creative community. And it is just really special to be around people who so enjoy working with each other and looking out for each other and are inspired by a lot of the same things.
We talk about community a lot when we talk about Tender Loving Empire, and that's because this is way more than a business to us. It's about building up our community. In fact, one of our core values is remember your community.
So something that we had been in talks about prior to COVID that we were able to realize during that time frame was working with My People's Market, which is a market that supports BIPOC artists. And with COVID, there wasn't the opportunity to have that market over the summer, so the artists lost that opportunity to sell. So what we did is we put together a series of gift boxes with different themes, and we purchased the product from the artists at higher than wholesale cost, which recouped some of what they would have made at the market. And then we were able to sell those on our website and in our stores once we started reopening, and every profit from that was donated to charity. So it was a way to invest back into our community and to work with those artists.
One of the nice things about working at the Portland airport is we're representing the city, trying to get people who aren't necessarily familiar with Portland familiar with our label, as well as, kind of the mission statement of the store.
Our record label has distribution all over the world. We handed $2 million in checks to artists last year. We see about 20% of our income from the label come from places besides the United States. As a result, you've just seen a real groundswell of support from people that seek us out when they come to Portland.
We've been able to watch the goods and music of people that live here travel all over the world with customers from that location.
The main impact, I think, is this place is kind of a melting pot. Every person who works here, every person who walks in, feels like they're part of it, and we've really wanted to open this thing up to where it's not just Brianne and I's vision. It's made up of hundreds of artists, of dozens of employees. Last year, over 100,000 customers. We're just proud to represent Portland's creative community to the world.
So thanks once again to Sue Spence from FedEx, and to FedEx, the entire organization, and congratulations to Tender Loving Empire on this great recognition and honor. And now let's get back to our countdown. And by the way, for you first-time winners, but for all of you, please know that you are now members of ICANN. That's the Intercity Alumni Network. That's our network of more than 10,000 business owners all over the country who come together regularly for networking, for continuing education, and for lots more. So watch for information about ICANN. Go to icann@icic.org to learn more. So now let's go to our next group of winners. We'll look at those winners from 40 down to 31. And I note 2 Hall of Famers on this list. Number 38, Sear Interactive from Philadelphia. And number 34, Blaisdell's Business Products of Oakland, California. Both Hall of Famers. And I also want to note that Blaisdell's did amazing work in Oakland, delivering food to people who needed it most in Oakland throughout this pandemic. They are featured in our 2020 Impact Report. Go to the toolbar, you can find our Impact Report. There's a lot of stories, inspiring stories and information, performance metrics in our Impact Report. So now let's go to the next slide. We'll take a look at winners 30 down to 21. You'll see number 30 is Trice Construction of Chicago, Illinois. I hope you all had a chance to hear Stephanie Hickman speak earlier. Stephanie is an extraordinary entrepreneur, graduate of the Intercity Capital Connections program, multiple times an Intercity 100 winner. She said something today in her talk when she and Sonia Moyen had a conversation that I want to repeat. It was inspiring. She said, "My business is my protest." Think about what that means. Think about what small business owners are doing throughout the country, particularly after George Floyd was murdered and the national racial justice and equity agenda really came into full force. I mean, that was absolutely a dynamic moment in this conference. And I want to thank Stephanie from the bottom of our collective hearts for what she said, for what she does, for who she is, and what she stands for. On slide 30 to 21, you'll see 10 winners all. And we're grateful for your leadership and for your performance and for being part of the ICIC family. So now let's go to the next slide. Companies 20 down to 11. And you'll see one Hall of Fame winner here on slide, which is Team SI from Little Rock, Arkansas. Proud to have our 15 Hall of Famers, but mostly proud of all 100 of you who are winners here today and leaders in your respective communities. Now it's time to count down this year's top 100 Inner City 100 winners. So now let's take a look at number 10, Cloud Bakers from Chicago, Illinois. Revenue growth over 753% during the 4-year period, 2015 to 2019, and 52 jobs created by the company during that period of time. And I'll note that Cloud Bakers is also a Hall of Famer. Also a Hall of Fame winner. And now look at winner number 9, Veltrust LLC of Baltimore, Maryland. Growth rate of over 968%, 21 jobs created. So proud of Veltrust LLC from Baltimore and for the small businesses throughout the city of Baltimore that are growing, flourishing, and creating sustainable ecosystem in that community. Let's now take a look at Spark.Orange. The number 8 winner this year, Spark.Orange from Syracuse, New York. Revenue growth of more than 1,020%, 20 jobs created. So thrilled to have you with us, and so proud that you're number 8 in the 2020 Intercity 100. And now let's go to number 7. Security 101 from Norfolk, Virginia. Revenue growth of 1,424%. 17 jobs created. Building a dynamic brand and a dynamic franchise in Norfolk, Virginia. Number 7, Security 101. And now let's move on to number 6, Nyla Technology Solutions, also from Baltimore. Revenue growth of more than 1,453% during that 4-year period. 43 jobs created. Nyla Technology Solutions of Baltimore, number 6. And now we come to number 5, Digital Hive, also of Syracuse. Syracuse and Baltimore cleaning up this year in the top 10. Revenue growth of 1,465%, that's 1,465%, and 44 jobs created. Digital Hive of Syracuse, New York. Number 4, Stratus IoT of Philadelphia. Revenue growth of more than 1,292% over the 4-year period, and 65 jobs created during that same time. Stratus IoT of Philadelphia, PA. Winner number 3 on the 2020 Intercity 100 Office Libations of Oakland, California. Revenue growth of 2,109%. 22 jobs created. That's an extraordinary achievement, and we're so proud of the leadership and the team that Claude has put together at Office Libations. Number 2 on the Intercity 100 list for 2020, Ekaben of Baltimore, Maryland. Revenue growth of more than 1,836% and 50 jobs created. The co-founders of Ekaben should be so proud of what they've accomplished and the leadership they've demonstrated in Baltimore, building a great community of diverse companies, leveling the playing field, narrowing the wealth gap, attacking concentrated poverty, which are the goals of ICIC and of all of us. And now, for this year's number 1 fastest growing business, inner city business, the winner of the Business Growth Award. And to make this presentation, I'm pleased to introduce Andrew Nuska, digital editor of Fortune, the annual publisher of the Intercity 100 list, who will present the Business Growth Award. Andrew, take it away.
It's a pleasure to be here this evening on behalf of Fortune to present the Business Growth Award, which recognizes the fastest growing company on the 2020 Intercity 100 list. This winner stands out among a group of truly extraordinary companies for its tremendous growth over the last 5 years. As the publisher of the annual Intercity 100 list, we at Fortune have had the pleasure of learning about and highlighting the incredible business leaders we have celebrated on this list since it began more than 20 years ago. The stories of these companies continuously inspire us, and we are always impressed by the tremendous growth they achieve, especially when they sit at the top of that list. These companies are drivers of economic growth in the urban underserved communities where they are based. And this year's winner is an exemplar of how small businesses can be an engine of a healthy, inclusive economy. Now it's time for you to meet the company that fills that slot this year, having grown more than 2,000%. Who does that? And created nearly 80 jobs in the last 4 years. In 2019, this firm had almost $5 million in revenue and is anticipating significant growth again this year. The company was founded in 2015 as a for-profit social enterprise to address the needs of underserved Hispanic women in the US to earn extra income to provide for their families. It is a single-level direct sales company that offers these women the chance to improve their lives and that of their families through exclusive quality products they can sell for additional income, services to meet their needs, self-development tools to empower them, and support by a friendly and personalized team. It's my great pleasure to introduce Ticini, as the #1 company on this year's Inner City 100 list. Congratulations to founder and CEO Sion Tassoni on this amazing achievement. Here is a video that will tell you a bit more about the 2020 fastest growing urban business in the country.
My personal mission statement is to be able to help people, and that's the reason why I created Ticini. Ticini is a for-profit social enterprise whose mission is to empower U.S. immigrant Hispanic women. We do that by providing them a platform of products that women can buy at wholesale, they can sell retail, and they keep the difference.
Cuando vi el catálogo pequeño que me mandaron, yo dije, wow, eso fue amor a primera vista. Este es el negocio que yo quería.
Hispanic women are amazing people, but they're definitely swimming against the current, and they're struggling to make ends meet.
Cuando llegué de mi país aquí, yo me sentí estancada. Yo sentía un vacío dentro de mí porque yo decía, Dios mío, pero esto no es lo que yo soñé, ni esto era lo que yo quería. Pero cuando conocí lo que era Ticini, a conocer el producto y empecé a hablar de mi producto, empecé a romper barreras.
No es el país nuestro, la cultura nuestra. Entonces, encontrar una empresa que te ayuda a sentirte en casa y que aparte de ayudarte a sentirte en casa, te ayuda a surgir, te ayuda a salir adelante, te apoya y eso te llena de mucha fuerza.
I once read a quote from Peter Drucker that says, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." I actually didn't believe in that quote until recently. And I think a great part of our growth has come from our culture. Ticini was founded in 2015. We have grown close to 4,000%. Our culture is founded in our core values that we live on a daily basis.
Tratamos de empoderar a la mujer latina que vive en los Estados Unidos de habla hispana a que sea una mujer independiente, a que sea una mujer que logra sus cosas, a que sea una mujer que sepa que tiene valía, que puede hacer las cosas que se propone.
Ticini is truly a hybrid between technology, retail, and direct sales. But in addition to that, we'll also have the opportunity of offering them services. At the moment, we have telemedicine. We also have a huge focus on education, finance 101 or accounting 101, but also on education as to how is it that me as a person can grow.
Me encanta que cuando alguien llega a Ticini viene con un chip comercial súper agresivo de vender, 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 y en estas capacitaciones nos encargamos de enseñarle que no es vender por vender, es preocuparse por el cliente. Cuando le decimos a una persona, tú eres capaz, creemos en ti, tú lo puedes lograr, esa persona no solamente logra lo que se ha propuesto, sino que logra muchísimas cosas más, y creo que lo más importante, ella aprende a creer en sí misma.
Ticini me devolvió la esencia de mujer emprendedora que yo tenía siempre. Sé que todavía hay muchas mujeres latinas que se están enfrentando a los nuevos retos y desafíos del tiempo en que estamos, pero sé que lo podemos superar. Sé que si nos lo proponemos, podemos superarlo todo porque nosotras somos capaces.
Our impact goal is to empower the lives of 500,000 Hispanic women by 2025. We know it's an aggressive goal, but we truly believe that we can accomplish it. I firmly believe that we as small business owners have the responsibility to help people around us.
Es importante sentir que pertenece a algo, y creo que eso es lo que encuentras en Ticini.
So thank you, Andrew Nuska. Thank you to Fortune. And congratulations to Ticini for such a remarkable and sustained growth. I wonder if you all saw the last part of that video, where Ticini says it's important to feel like you're part of something. And you're all part of the ICIC family. Now, tomorrow, next week, next month, and well into the future. Those numbers, by the way, are extraordinary. 2,087% growth rate over 4 years, 79 jobs created. Congratulations again to Miami-based to Cini, and to all of our winners, and to all of our Hall of Famers. What an incredible group of companies. We are so proud to be associated with each and every one of them. So this conference, for which more than 1,200 small business owners registered, marks the release of our first ever impact report covering all parts of ICIC's work, research, and all of our urban business initiatives. The title of this year's report is The Strength of Small Business, Stories of Resilience and Impact. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the link in the top menu bar of the conference platform, Impact Report, and I'm certain it'll be on our homepage and on our website very, very soon. If you want to see it now, go right to that top menu bar. We're so proud of what ICIC has accomplished this year, but more proud of what you've accomplished. And we're honored to help tell the stories of the incredible small businesses like you from our community of small communities, large communities all over the country. You're the real heroes of this year's conference. You're the heroes of American business during this pandemic year, and we salute each of you. The highlights of the Impact Report are pretty amazing in their own right. This year, ICIC served 2,576 small businesses in more than 600 cities and 49 states. 58% of the companies we served this year across all of our programs are BIPOC owned. 57% are woman owned. They average $1.4 million in average revenues. They average more than 10 years in business, and they employ on average just a little over 13 full-time employees. As I shared earlier, when you look at the Inner City 100 impact, the winners average 310% growth rate, almost 9 million in revenue, employ over 7,200 people, created 3,200 jobs during the 4-year period for which they've been judged. And I'll say it again, the average salary, not including the owners, not including the management, $60,663. Moving to the 10,000 Small Businesses Program, the program that Goldman Sachs started back in 2009, and for which ICIC is honored to be the national selection and outreach partner from the beginning. Their alumni collectively account for more than $14 billion of revenue and employ over 200,000 people. 67% of the 10,000 Small Businesses alumni increased revenue within 6 months of completing the program. 47% of the graduates created jobs within 6 months of completing the program. And this is a stunning statistic, and it should tell you everything about networking and why conferences like this mean so much. 86% of 10,000 Small Businesses alumni do business with other 10,000 Small Businesses alumni. This is a gold mine of networking and new business opportunities. Take full advantage of it, even for the last hour after this program formally concludes. And Sonia will tell you exactly how to do that a little bit later. Turning to intercity capital connections. Those alumni, since the program was created, have grown revenues by 126% on average. They've raised more than $2.3 billion of debt and equity. They've created more than 22,000 jobs, good quality jobs. And this year, I'm proud to tell you that 74% of the companies that participated in the Intercity Capital Connections program are BIPOC-owned businesses. 61% are woman-owned businesses. I want to express special appreciation to Greg Adams, the CEO of Kaiser Permanente, who early this summer made a dramatic announcement, a $100 billion investment to really deal equitably and fairly and aggressively with the national racial justice and equity movement. We're proud to be part of that team, and we're proud of Kaiser Permanente. I know of no organization that is more deeply committed to the racial justice and racial equity agenda that is Kaiser Permanente. Cultivate Small Business, many of you may be familiar with it, but if you're not, it's a Greater Boston Food Cluster Initiative sponsored by Santander Bank. We know that debt Sometimes burdens companies, and grants mean everything in this environment. And in 2020, 34 Cultivate Small Business Program participants were awarded capital grants by Santander totaling $85,000, the second phase of capital grants to be awarded later this month. We worked hard to share your stories of resilience, innovation, kindness, and generosity based on how you responded to this most agonizing year. We're so proud of you for your strength of character, for your entrepreneurial spirit, your unshakable commitment to community building that are the essence of the American dream. Thank you once again for being part of our ICIC community, and thank you for being the beating heart of this country and its economy. So as we conclude this program, this portion of the program, on day 3 of the conference, I want to once again thank our sponsors: Chevron, FedEx, Edward Jones, PG&E, Bank of America, Regions, Appleton Partners, Arcturus Impact Investors, the Kraft Group, Salesforce, Giroux Glass, P&G Gillette, and Santander Bank. They helped make this conference possible, and we will always be grateful. I want to thank my colleagues at ICIC. I may be standing in front of you talking about what you've all achieved, but we've got an amazing team. There was a national conference working group headed by our Director of Development, Liz Pugh, which included Diego Portillo Mazal, Marini Ponce, Anna Marie Cruz, V. Mai, and Julie Kent. Thanks to all of them. What we've accomplished here in the last 3 days of this conference, they led. The Impact Report Working Group worked equally hard to put the report together that you can take a look at in the top bar, once again led by Liz. Included Chris Scott, Caitlin Cheminian, Julie Kent, Amber Riano, Dustin Ferris, Diego Portillo Mazal, and Mike Shore. Thanks to my colleagues, one and all. And for those whom I didn't mention, every one of our colleagues, without exception, played some role in making this national conference possible. Let me also move on and thank our national sustaining partners: Kaiser Permanente, Goldman Sachs, Santander, Bank of America, Chevron, FedEx, JP Morgan Chase, Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, Regions, Amerisource Bergen and its foundation, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Vizient, and Catholic University of America. They sustain us throughout the year, all 12 months, all 366 days in this leap year, and we are grateful to all of them. And thanks as well to our national partners who invest time and time again in the work that we do: Cardinal Health, Blackstone Consulting, EY, Arcturus, Edward Jones, Rose International, and the Boston Consulting Group. I mentioned them this morning, but I'll repeat again. You don't put on a conference at this level of complexity over 3 days without an amazing team of partners. So let me thank White Knight Productions, led by Ellen Barton, Mode Studios, Artists for Humanity, One Visual Mind, and Carol Maglita, our great designer. Coast to Coast Conferences and Events, led by Michelle Manayer, and Osho Candy, and Fortune. What an amazing team of partners came together to make this happen. And finally, thanks again to the Inner-City 100 winners and our special award winners: Cube Care, winner of the CHEVRON Dorothy A. TERREL Community Impact Award; Tender Loving Empire, winner of the Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award presented by FedEx; Miami-based Tassini, the #1 award winner of the Business Growth Award presented by Fortune. And I'll remind you once again, the full Inner-City 100 list is now available on fortune.com. We're about to turn to our closing activities, but before we do, we'd like to play a brief video from some of ICIC's friends, many of whom you'll recognize, with a message to all small business owners after this most memorable, challenging, and agonizing year, honoring and recognizing your strength and resilience. Let's roll it.
Hello, ICIC. It's Cory Booker. I am psyched to have a few moments to share with you all. you know that I love this organization. When I was a citizen in Newark, a city councilman, a mayor, I pulled so much value from ICIC, partnership with them, and helping to see a vision, not just for Newark, New Jersey, but really for our nation. ICIC, you all know that our cities are our gems in America. They already are pushing so much of the job creation, the innovation, the education, the transportation networks, all of the challenges of the 21st century. Cities are at the forefront of fighting to make sure that we meet those challenges. We also know that there is so much potential untapped yet still in our cities for job creation and growth, for innovation and expertise, for meeting those challenges with even greater grit and courage and strength. I believe the future of America is deeply tied to the future of our cities. And so the strategies that you all are working on, the vision that you all have, to me is just as critical now as it was when I was a young person rising up in leadership in Newark, New Jersey. I have a lot of faith in our cities. I have a lot of faith in the future because of my love for the American city. Thank you for believing, for seeing, and for actually making that potential be realized. All the best.
Congratulations on getting through this unprecedented year and for persevering in one of the most difficult environments for small businesses. We are so honored to have gotten to know you through our ICCC training programs across the country. I hope they have been helpful to you in weathering the storms this year and planning for the future of your businesses. You are all a source of leadership and hope in our shared communities. You provide the jobs and income people need. You create spaces for our communities to gather and to share traditions and cultures. You are each a vital building block for a strong, healthy, and vibrant community. Your ambitions and successes help make us healthier every day, and we could not be more grateful. So stay strong and know that we are behind you as we all continue to move forward in these uncertain times. Thank you for all what you do.
Hi, I'm Ro Khanna. I represent Silicon Valley in the United States Congress. I just want to congratulate and express my admiration for all of the entrepreneurs who are being recognized at this conference across the country. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you for what you're doing to be job creators. Thank you for what you're doing in our fight for greater equity for people of color. Thank you for what you're doing in the face of the COVID pandemic, in the face of racial injustice, to create hope and opportunity. You're the bedrock of your communities. You're the bedrock of our country. You're what is going to allow America to succeed in the 21st century. I salute you. Thank you. Thank you. And let's continue to build our nation for this new century.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deval Patrick, the former governor of Massachusetts. And it's my great honor to join you for just a moment to commend you and to congratulate you for the extraordinary creativity, resilience, thoughtfulness, and energy that you have brought to building and growing your businesses in any circumstances, but especially right now when we're dealing with a global health pandemic. I want you to know that what you are doing and what you are exemplifying is the very best of who we are. And I want you to continue to do that and push right through all of the challenges that we are sharing right now, that we are facing together right now, because you will make us better on the other side. So continued best wishes, all good luck to you. May you find the resources in talent and otherwise that you need to continue to thrive. And thank you for giving us all a reason to hope. Take care.
The ICIC plays an important role, and one that's even more critical today as our nation confronts a global pandemic that has disrupted our economy in an unprecedented manner. It is important that entrepreneurs who still dream of owning their own business or starting their business or dream of an innovation, continue to do that and continue to take the positive steps. If we've seen nothing that is positive that's come from this COVID experience, it has been the awakening of America with regards to its unfair treatment of African Americans and the challenges that African Americans confront when they seek equal access to economic opportunity. As we come out of the global pandemic, minority and women entrepreneurs will find unprecedented opportunities. I think that there will be greater access to capital, greater access to opportunity, and most businesses around the country will take affirmative and aggressive steps to be more inclusive. That will bring about a more robust recovery than we have anticipated, in part because we are going to be including more people in America's opportunity, more people in America's entrepreneurship, more people who are talented, who will create jobs and supplies and ideas of the future. And that will build a better economy. And so I say to business owners and entrepreneurs, don't despair. Look for the opportunities that are ahead. So those of you who are business owners, keep doing what you're doing, because it is the business owners who have kept our economy going and who have kept people employed. And if you are an aspiring business owner, keep going, because greater opportunity lies ahead. I am optimistic about our future because I know that businesses will lead our nation into a brighter day and lead us to the road of recovery, and we will build a better and more inclusive economy. And how exciting is it for all of us to be a part of what will be a transformative economy. So thank you very much. Keep going. Let's rebuild America. Goodbye.
We are so grateful for the friends who said, we would like to record a message to all of the small business owners coming together for the national conference. They wanted to salute your resilience, your leadership, your creativity, and to tell you to stay at it, stay with it. So my final message, which is based on 35 years of running a small family business that grew and grew and grew, is keep making connections, keep networking. It's critical. It will build your business and create growth so that you can stay on the Inner City 100 list year after year after year. We want you to enjoy our closing reception activities, which are all led by ICIC program participants and alumni just like you. Speaking of alumni, if you want to know more about ICANN, the Inner City Alumni Network, email icann@icic.org. And with that, I want to welcome back the redoubtable, the irrepressible, Sonia Moyne. Sonia, take it away and lead people to the reception and the fun stuff. And thanks so much for your leadership.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that. But congratulations to all our 2020 Inner City 100 Award winners. Here's to you, and here's to your teams. Your accomplishments are an inspiring moment for all of us. So thank you. I shall toast to you and take a little sip before I tell you the remainder of what's happening. Your success tastes so good. Guys, I can't believe this is the end of our conference. I have been waiting for this day, and here it is, the last moment. As Steve said, on behalf of ICIC, I'd like to extend our deepest gratitude to all of you for all the work you do each and every day to create impacts with your business in your community. But most of all, thank you for seeing the silver lining in this challenging time. And lastly, I want to say, in addition to everything Steve said, to our partners and our funders, we could not have done this without you. You who believe in our mission and work hand in hand to help create jobs, wealth, and income in under-resourced communities. Thank you. And thank you to all of you. Guys, with that, we are now opening the special activity rooms being presented by some of our alumni. Obviously, I started ahead. So the wine discussion is in the magenta room. The coffee discussion is in the chartreuse room. Tea discussion is in the crimson room. And you know, we only drink tea with milk and sugar, and of course, green tea as well. Escape room, if you're up for that challenge, is in the coral activity room. Virtual paint night. What a wonderful moment to really take in the day into a painting, hopefully, is in the turquoise room. Now make your way to the activity room. We will play a highlight video of the past 30 days of the conference as you make your way. And again, thank you. Please enjoy, and please continue to reach out to ICIC. We are here for you. Congrats and thank you.